Keeps coming up. Here he comes, look.
Are you doing specialist stuff now, are you? Is that what it is? Sorry!
What a darling. This is what I love about the car community. Do you know what I mean? All the engagement, all the little chats that we have. As soon as you come into the car park, I was talking about it. And then obviously he asked about this. Absolute gem. That's why I'm here today, making this video. I'm going to answer a few questions. I'm going to pick up the YouTube content because it has been a bit all over the show. So I'm going to answer a few questions that I've been getting recently about this old Bessie. Effectively, I'm just going to tell the story, really. So it started life as a Mark II, green Mark II, because before I had it, it was red, and it is an import, which I didn't know. 1.6, and originally, when I went to insure the car through, I think it was Admiral, the car come back as a BBR turbo, and I've done some reading. I mean, someone else can probably enlighten me, but from my understanding, there was only 250 made or 350 made. I don't know exactly. So correct me if I'm wrong. In a Mark II, and when I tried to insure it with Admiral, they wanted ridiculous money because it was like one of 300 and something on the road or whatever. But by then it was already too late. I'd already welded the diff, cut the tunnel out, put a hydro in it. It didn't have a turbo on it when I got it. It was a 1.6, but it didn't have a turbo on it. So I was like, yeah, there's no point in me not carrying on with the car because it's too late now. I've already cut it to pieces, blown shafts and snapped arms and dented it and crashed it. So I thought, alright, I might as well carry on. And then I supercharged it. That was fun. I got 186 originally, and then done some more stuff to it. Got 190 something. I can't remember what exactly. Once it was supercharged, it had the deuce kit on it. Typical hooligan. You know what I mean? Painted the juice kit black. It looked like a shed for the longest time. That I really didn't care about how it looked. I just wanted it to perform well, and it did, until the clutch started slipping and I crashed it. I'll try and find that clip and put it in here. I had my pal Jack Scott in the passenger seat. He was filming on private land. And then I thought, right, well, this is enough now. I'm going to take it back off the road. So I took it off the road. It was down the yard I was working down for a long time. And then someone offered me, Lewis Sturton, offered me a E46 325i CI. Was actually quite a nice car as it goes. 900 quid without the cat, so I was like, no brainer, might as well do that. Because at this time I knew that the engine fit, because Mark Webb, Mx5 Miata on Instagram, he was doing his swap and walking me through it before I'd even done mine. And then obviously when I went for it, he must have realised I was being serious and started informing me on how things go. So pulled the old engine out, and it sat there for a long time before I touched it. It might have been about a month or two. Pulled all the engine out of the BM, pulled the loom out of the BM, labelled everything up, laid it all down on the ground, pulled the loom out of this, and then put all the loom from the BM into this. Then yeah, made up the mounts for the engine. Tanju helped me do that. We must have had that engine in. I mean, I got it in mounted in 27 hours, almost non-stop. Yeah, I got it running on the turn of a key. I was battling for days because I was turning the key, it was just turning over, and it was raining, snowing, hailing. We had this little like canopy that my pal Connor let me borrow, which I actually did tear to shreds because the wind got hold of it and the winter. And it turns out I'd left the day before I scrapped the BM. I'd left the EWS module in the boot of the BM. So I was like, oh, I'm finding all these little boxes, these little modules, one for the reversing stuff and all that. I plugged in the EWS module, not knowing it was the EWS module, got in the MX5, turned the key, and she started right up. No manifolds, just engine, pure noise. And then I had to sort of remake the mounting for the bumper, and I was running the Mark II front end. I painted the car satin black in a multi-storey car park and was running that for about a year and a half, 2 years. And I thought, right, I'm going to start making it look nice now. And I had these horrible offset wheels that I bought off of my pal Dan. And when I went almost on full lock, they'd rub on the upper and lower arms. But I stuck with them. I was running a 35mm wheel spacer on the front. I painted the car a blue that we still don't know what it was. I'd asked someone for a tin of midnight blue paint. And when I got it, it was like baby blue. It was like sky blue paint. And I thought, well, that's not what I want, but whatever. And he gave me two little, like really nice black and a really nice blue pot of paint. And then the thinners to go with it. I didn't know anything about painting at that time. I still don't know a lot, but I did know anything then. And then I thought, right, I'll just mix it until I'm happy with whatever colour I've got. And I didn't measure it, so I was just pouring in a bit of blue, pouring in a bit of black, and I ended up getting, I don't really know what to sort of call it, but it was like a really dark blue, and I hated it. When I laid the paint on, I was like, oh, this is disgusting. But it grew on me, I started to like it. So I'd got fed up with them silver wheels, and I wanted something that I knew would fit. So I'd done all my measurements and I was like, right, I want a set of nearly zero offset wheels. 8.5J on the rear, 9.5J on the front, 16 inch. And I searched and searched, and then one day I just give up, and then I thought, right, I'll jump on eBay, and it must have been a couple of months, and I jumped on eBay, and some guy who was a wheel dealer was retiring, was selling these 720s. They're the old OG style 44s, I believe. They don't sell them anymore. Flawless wheel, can't fault it. Great wheel, love them. And then where I kept crashing the car and abusing it, it needed another refurb. Yeah, the bumper had a massive crack in it, side skirts were hanging off, the rear quarter was all smashed in because I'd slid into a lamppost. Yeah, and I just sort of thought, right, you know, show season's started now, I wanted to look pretty, so we bought the gazebo, from Argos, built the gazebo up. You could fit the car in it with a little bit of space in front. It was a nice size. 130 quid, I think it was, wasn't it?
What's that?
The gazebo.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, so not that expensive. It's quite nice actually.
I'm using it again.
Hey?
I'm going to use it again if you need.
Yeah, can do. Yeah, winter. Yeah, put the car in the gazebo, jacked it up, cut the old front end off because it weren't great. It weren't that safe. I weren't happy with it. And then we made it so that I can unbolt this whole front end now instead of it being welded on. Working out the headlight brackets was an absolute nightmare because before I used to have a frame that had come from up here down and round, and the headlight brackets were sort of built up off of that. But this time I went at an angle, so I had to sort of build them upwards in like a triangle shape.
That took probably the longest.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that any time I did try and do something, my welder broke. It kept blowing fuses in the asses. Melted a plug socket. Like, I had so much ag with a welder. I ended up going out buying a welder that I couldn't afford to try and get the car done, ready for players. Got the front end made up. Then it was the bodywork. The bodywork was hard work, wasn't it?
That was something.
I thought the front end was bad. The bodywork was hard work because I had Gabs to get involved. Because obviously when I was doing all the welding, she couldn't get involved. She wanted to get involved. Got her on the bodywork with me. The bumper, because of how much I just bodged it, legged it, bodged it, legged it.
3 or 4 days.
I practically had to cut the bumper to nothing and remake it. Mostly to get that massive crack out the middle. Because I just kept layering up filler. It just got worse. So remade the front bumper, fixed the side skirts. The rear bumper didn't really require any attention. The front bumper alone took me 3 or 4 days just to get it in a primered state. Got the whole car primered, and the night before we finished at what, 12 o'clock at night, wasn't it? Or 1 o'clock in the morning.
It was like 1
Yeah,
hour.
1 in the morning. I was primering the roof because of previous paint job that I'd done on it. It kept reacting. So I was laying the primer down, it would react. I'd take it back, sand it, clean it, get it all spotless, lay the primer down, it would react again. So I was like losing my mind with it.
The amount of wet and dry we done.
Yeah, the amount of wet and dry. I mean, my fingers were smooth from the wet and drying. We managed to get it to work the night before. There's a couple of little reactions here and there, but I'm going to be using the car, do you know what I mean? It's by far not a show pony. Yeah, so I was just like, alright, whatever. There's a tiny little reaction on the roof. It's got worse since because of the heat. I don't think the primer stuck all that well, or the paint didn't stick to the primer. Because what I didn't know is, I'm not a painter, yeah? We got to dropping the car off to Ollie. He's done a fantastic job. For the money I paid, he's done a great job. We dropped the car off and he went, you do know that the paint might react and you might have to do it all over again. And we had a week till players, and I was like, thanks for telling me that. You could have just let me not let me know, and I would have been happy.
What's that?
I dropped the car off with Ollie at 191 Automotive. I think that's what his Insta is. I'll put it in the video. Dropped it off with him, and the whole time the car was with him, I was like, he's not contacted me, that's good news. And by the Thursday, bear in mind the players was on the Saturday. On Thursday I was like, right Ollie, what's happening? And he was like, yeah, it's alright. He's not happy with it, he's a painter. He does it day in, day out, you know. His level of satisfaction was different to my level of satisfaction. He's going to me, oh, it's not great, like, I'm not ecstatic with it, but I don't know what you were sort of expecting. I was like, right, thanks mate, getting a little bit worried now. And we went up there in your Audi, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Took your Audi, drove up there, car was ready, driving down, and I see my car and I was like, that's not my car. That's the first thing I said to her. I was like, that's not my car. This is now the best it's ever looked. I know it ain't much, but she looks okay. What was I? Yeah, got it painted, got it home, got it MOT'd. I'm over the moon with it as it is at the minute. So now I've just got to do things like the suspension, because that's starting to go a bit tits up. The arms are fucked. The prop needs redoing. I've got a drive shaft that's about to snap. So yeah, I mean, recently we went to Roll Hard. Great show. People are great. The cars were unreal. In my opinion, Oak Trace, unreal. Roll Hard for the UK.
Yeah, Roll Hard's probably the top UK show.
Yeah, Roll Hard's one of the best shows of the UK, for sure. It's just the aesthetic that they've got is just unmatched. Yeah, so in the next video, I'll give a full breakdown of the car, everything I paid for, everything I've had to get, all my trials and errors, because as it goes, I didn't just do this swap and it just worked. I've had many issues trying to figure things out, even down to the clutch master taking me a week to figure out, because I didn't want to do it a certain way. I'm very stuck in my ways when I do things. I hope you can hear me throughout this video, and I ain't got to put subtitles throughout the whole video. I hope you can see me alright. And if you want to know how much it will cost me, come back next video. Should be out hopefully about 2 weeks after this one. I'm going to try and stay a bit more consistent on the YouTube, because I might as well do it now instead of later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And stay tuned on the Instagram, because that's mostly where I put the behind the scenes stuff. Might have a new daily coming in. We don't know yet. I'm going to keep that one quiet. It's going to be hilarious when you find out what I'm dailying.
And then New Year, hopefully another car.
And then yeah, New Year, hopefully this little one over here gets a new car. She wants to get a very spicy car. If she gets one of them before me, I will be stressed. I hope you know that. Onwards and upwards, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next one. Yeah, I'm going to answer a few questions that I've been gating.